Hello YouTube, BlueMatona here, and welcome to this episode of Game Guides, where I will be looking at Civilization 5 and basically where to settle your first city. So the main question that this revolves around is 1, do you just settle where the game places you at the start of the game, essentially? And 2, do you move a space? And this has been a pretty, heated debate amongst Civ 5 fans, and my personal opinion is that you should kind of settle wherever the game leaves you. Puts you at the start. But that's just my opinion, and I think that just gives you that you don't want to lose a turn of production or population growth at the start of the game when it's so important. But if you do want to explore, there are going to be a couple things that you should do here, and I don't think you should wait more than one move to locate your city. So if you are going to relocate your city, which I have done sometimes, I think you should only move it 1 or 2 tiles away, depending on how far you can walk. I don't think you should move it a lot, just because you don't want to lose these early game turns. So first, it's going to be important, not strategic view, that's my bad, but you can look at, if you want to just have some, uses here, you can look at resource icons, see what's around you, maybe turn on the grid just so you can see, how many tiles you can move, and look at yield, so what you can get. So here you can see the city has a decent balance. You have some, pretty good. You have luxury resources. I mean, wine, copper, pearls, cocoa, however you want to pronounce it, all around your city. So I mean, this, you have 4 different luxury resources. So already you're looking at a pretty good opportunity for happiness at this spot. You also have a good mix of different tiles. I mean, here's a hill. You have some hills. You're on water, which always helps. You have some good gold from the pearls and the wine and stuff. Some good food production, a little bit of production. So, it's not the worst spot in the world. But what I would do first is let's definitely move your warrior. So you're going to want to move them 1 hex at a time. So let's, and I think it's always good to end on a hill because you have a larger range of sight so you can see more. So we're going to go ahead and, I mean, if you move here, it's not going to reveal what's on the other side of the mountains, but we'll move 1 this way. Okay, it didn't reveal anything new, and we'll go up on the hill. So that's really all we get to see right now. I mean, we don't have, we have some production hills up here, so we don't really have much else to do. I mean, in this situation, I think the advantages of being on the water outweigh the advantages of maybe moving 1 or 2 squares this way, where you might have more access to hills. So I would personally found the city here. And there's a ruins discovered, so that's always nice. But that's my opinion in the situation. Like I said, I always like to settle where the game leaves you. Okay, so here's another example where I might move in this first situation. So we're going to go ahead and turn on these icons again just to see what's around us. So we have a lot of cotton, citrus, and some cattle, which will help with food. So let's go ahead and I'll take these off, but we'll leave these hexes on. And let's look at the warrior unit that we have here. So how are we going to want to explore? So I don't think we're going to move this way. It looks like you have some grassland in this area. I think and it looks like there's some Siberian stuff, like some tundra up here. So maybe, we might want to move to the left across the river 1 square. I'm not really sure. So I think the best opportunity here to explore will go this way. I mean, you have a hill. You don't really have much. I'd say if you wanted to move this guy, you could. But I think it's worth holding on to these cottons, and I think you kind of have a good range of stuff here. I mean, you will get access to these hills once your city starts to expand. So once again, I think we're going to go ahead and settle it. I mean, I'll start a couple games here and try to find one where I think it's good to move it at the beginning, but like I said, I think you should usually settle. Okay, so here's my 3rd attempt, and once again, I'm going to want to settle where I am, at least in my opinion. I mean, this area over here is hugely hilly. It's going to be tough to get food resources, so I don't want to move that way. And I don't really want to move away from them either because I'd like to keep the production. So the only thing I'd consider here would be if I wanted to move to this grassland as my city's home base. That way, I guess I don't have to focus as much on getting food. So, I mean, we'll explore. It didn't explore at all. We'll move my settler over. And yeah, so you have some hills over here. You actually have a a couple hills, so you get some production early game, and this will boost your city's base production. And you want to take a look at what your city's going to be on also, because that definitely plays a factor, because you're going to want to have your city itself producing as much as possible. So sure, we'll move one space here, found the city, and we still found the city on the first turn of the game. So that's actually pretty beneficial. That's a pretty good move, I think. So yeah, I mean, those are just a couple options you have. I actually think there was a study done once, and it's best to settle where the game places you, unless you have an opportunity like this, where you can settle on the same first move in a different place. But I think it's shown that if you waste your first move, it does hurt you in the long run. So that's my opinion. Thank you for watching this episode of Game Guides, everybody, and I hope you had a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I hope you had a very happy holiday season. And I hope you have a happy New Year's in a few days. So, go spend time with family, friends, and everybody. And, yeah, thank you for watching. And, as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah, guys, my channel's starting to pick up a little bit of traction. And I really appreciate everyone who's watching these videos. So, I hope you all have a good one. And, as always, hope to see you next time.